Welcome back to Gerodynamics. Okay, political video here. In fact, I may be doing a bunch of short political videos. Some of them will go long just because that's what I do. But I think I'm going to do a handful of short videos, maybe today and tomorrow. I don't know how long this one's going to go. Let me kind of play it out here. So, this video should have came out last week. I was busy with my band, so I wasn't able to do that. But the State of the Union. So, a couple of things about it right off the bat. Was Biden stronger and more coherent than most of us were expecting? Yeah, definitely. Especially at the beginning, if you watch the whole thing, he started, really kind of like slipping off towards the end of it. His meds were wearing off or whatever they had him on, to get him to go out there and maybe had like a full long nappy nap before before the State of the Union, and he was feeling refreshed. And then standing up there for an hour, he started getting a little tired. He's a little old man tired. But no, I would say he did pretty decent at the beginning and started slurring and getting more angry as the thing went on. He gets angry when he gets tired and confused. All right. So there's that. I will say that. But his positions are still terrible. He and he has to lie about any successes that he talks about because there's no successes that could be pulled from this presidency. He started out really wanting to get that money for Ukraine. So obviously, not talking about his successes at the beginning, talking about how he wants to start a war. He wants more war. He needs more money for war. And I mean, honestly, Dems, like that's one of the things that we should be able to agree on, is that war is bad. But for some reason, you only think that when it is a Republican that is president. But when you have a Democrat president, war is good. Apparently, good war. Woo! I just don't understand that. Nope. So, anyways, he wants more war. He wants more money for the war, and then he tried to take credit for job creation again. And we know this is a lie. This is, a complete and utter fabrication. This is what happened. For anybody who doesn't quite understand it, and you can disagree with me, that's fine. You can believe what he's saying when he says he created all these jobs. He didn't create all these jobs. What he did was he opened the country back up. He ended the shutdowns finally. He took far too long to do that, but he did. And so jobs came back. So a lot of the jobs were jobs that were lost while the government was shut down, while not the government, but while a lot of the country was shut down and the economy was shut down in many aspects due to COVID. So a lot of those jobs came back. Not all of them, of course, but a lot of jobs came back. He's taking credit for that. He is also taking credit for a massive amount of jobs that are government jobs, which, yes, they're real jobs, but let's go to the extreme on government jobs. If everybody had a government job, who would be paying the government employees? Nobody. Um, because you can't tax enough to pay someone their full salary. So if everybody worked for the government, everything would collapse. We're not there, obviously, and that's not happening. But government jobs are not um, are not a sign that the economy is doing well. Okay, so taking credit for government jobs, while technically true, is not job creation. It's just not. It's taxpayer funded, um, and it is. We need jobs, so let's make jobs, not natural creation of jobs. And then a lot of the jobs, it's basically the meme, right? He's bragging about the meme. They took our jobs, South Park. They took our jobs, right? A lot of the jobs are not going to natural born citizens. They are going to foreign born citizens and immigrants that aren't citizens yet, whether they are legal or illegal. Either way, and that's another thing, we'll talk about that. So both legal and illegal immigrants are getting these jobs. Natural born citizens, not so much. Not that legal born and not that immigrants shouldn't be getting jobs, but when you have all, like, a large portion of the job creation going to immigrants, then the people who are already here are, it's not a sign of improvement in their lives and their economy. We're seeing jobs created that are going to people who weren't without a job previously because they just got here, type thing. Okay, that I'm not so upset about. That's fine. But to try to brag about the record levels of job creation when most of the jobs are just jobs that came back because the government ended the shutdown, and then federal jobs, those are the two issues that I mostly take with him bragging about job creation. And then the other thing is a lot of the jobs are part-time jobs, so he's taking credit for part-time jobs, which just means that people had to take multiple jobs because their job wasn't paying their expenses, because expenses have been going through the roof due to inflation. So people have to take a second job to be able to afford to live, to be able to afford their rent, to be able to afford gasoline. Those two things are huge on the rise in my area and in every area. Right now, gas prices are going up yet again. They can't seem to get under that $4 mark here in my area. And I'm not even in the expensive part of California. Gas prices are still above $4, and they have been. So here we are. Gas prices are crazy. Rent prices. I'm extremely lucky. I got a mortgage. It's fixed rate. It's not going anywhere, other than property taxes kind of messing things up every now and then. But my escrow account basically my escrow account causes my payment to fluctuate a little bit. But anyways, it's a fixed rate. I got it before the huge rate hikes, before the housing prices shot up again, and so I have a good solid mortgage that is way cheaper than most current mortgages that I see my friends and other people getting, and way cheaper even than rents. It's sad when, I mean, it's good for me, but it's sad when people are having to spend more on renting smaller, older places than I pay for my mortgage. But that's what's happening to rent. That's what's happening to our gas prices. And if you go to and buy your own groceries, it's happening at the grocery store. And that's what people are focused on, not your fake job numbers. All right. So things aren't going well. Let's see, another thing from the State of the Union. He got the lady's name wrong who was killed by the illegal immigrant, I think from Venezuela, who was released at the border, caught and released at the border, was caught and released at, oh, just one moment while the person is coming in. Oh, I thought you had practice. No? Okay. I'm doing a video, but I'll wrap it up, okay? All right. So, they caught and released this individual at the border. They caught and released this individual committing crimes in New York. And then he went down and took a young lady's life in, I think it was Georgia. I'm not 100% sure about that. Marjorie Taylor Greene yelled out her name. It was awkward, that whole thing. But Biden said the wrong name, got the name wrong, called the guy an illegal immigrant. Later apologized for that part of it. Didn't apologize for getting the name wrong. Didn't apologize for the federal government failing her and her family. Didn't apologize for the fact that that he allows sanctuary cities to release these criminals back out into the world. If they were just illegal immigrants or just legal immigrants, then I wouldn't say it was releasing criminals. Although it is kind of a crime to, not kind of, it is a crime to cross the border illegally. But if they commit an additional crime, then you should be returning them to where they came from. Something to that effect. Unless it's a very severe crime, then they can suffer in prison, pay the consequences of their actions, and then get returned to their country. Anyways, this it was just a huge like moment, and I don't think he realizes, and I don't think a lot of people on the Democrat side of the aisle recognize just how polarizing this has become, and he is going to lose this election in large part because of immigration. The economy is going to be a big part of it. The economy's terrible. He's got to live with that. That's under his watch. It's not all his fault, but it's under his watch, and a lot of it is his fault. Immigration is all his fault, 100%. So, you try to blame your predecessor, you try to blame everybody and their mother, but that's your fault. It's not Congress's fault. It's not Trump's fault. It's your fault. And you're getting people killed, and you're getting, causing huge increases in crime, because, you want to act like you're sympathetic to their plight, and you're not. You don't care. You just care about politics. But anyways, the State of the Union was kind of a disaster for him in that aspect. He does not have the support of the people. He does not have the support of many in his own party, even, and he definitely doesn't have the support of the other half of the country. It's not looking good for Biden, even though he looked more awake than we were expecting in the first half of the State of the Union. That doesn't mean that he is going to be a good candidate during the campaign trail, and he's not a good president, and he will not be our president in 2025. All right, I'm going to end it there. I did want to talk about some other things, but I think that's a good length for my response to the State of the Union. And then I do want to do some more videos where I talk about the differences between Biden and Trump, and how I've gotten to the point of never voting for Trump, to being pretty sure I'm voting for him in November. Yeah, it's all about Biden. Not a whole lot of it has to even do with Trump. Anyways, all right, everybody, take care. Have a good day.